having flowed for 1,000 years. The Pearl River has witnessed the transformations brought by the First Industrial Revolution. It has also seen our struggles and achievements over the past 40 years. Pearl River Estuary, the birthplace of maritime trade, is not only the port from which Made in China set sail, but also a grand echo of the East in global industrialization. Every step in industrial progress here records the arduous journey of an ancient nation toward modernization.
Today is the first day of the Canton Fair. Traffic around the venue is heavy.
Pazhou Island, an isle in the Pearl River, is named for its people-like shape. It is home to China's largest, highest level, most effective, comprehensive international trade exhibition site. All on this 9.66 square kilometer river island. Here, industry unfolds. From contract factories to smart plants, across the Pearl River Delta, to the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area. Since the founding of New China, the Canton Fair has linked China to the world. It has witnessed the rise from the 3+1 trading mix enterprises to joint ventures and wholly owned firms, from light industry, home appliances, electronics to heavy industry, from manufacturing to innovation, and from migrant workers to master craftsmen of a great nation. Looking back on nearly 80 years of the Canton Fair, we see China's determined march from a traditional agricultural nation to a modern industrial powerhouse. The Canton Fair, China's top exhibition, showcases the nation's image and achievements, and serves as a window opening to the world. Xiu Haijun is a shoe manufacturer.
It's stainless steel, very sturdy. Can be used for 20 years, very eco-friendly.
He's participated in the Canton Fair since the 1990s. The fate of the exhibition became intertwined with his company.
From 1990 to 1994, we attended both sessions every year. I think each fair grew better, attracting more exhibitors. Now, our transactions approach 300 million yuan. Initially, we only made about 2 or 3 million. That's a 100-fold increase. Quite substantial.
Through the Canton Fair, we connect products and information with numerous buyers, creating a path for high-quality growth.
In 1957, Europe and the US dominated the world's industry. To break the Western economic blockade, the Chinese government decided to host an export fair in Guangzhou. On April 5 that year, the first Canton Fair opened at the China-Soviet Friendship Building near Haizhou Bridge. Although the exhibits were modest, they reflected China's early industrial ambitions, trading silk for steel and ceramics for technology. Since then, every spring and autumn, flower-filled Guangzhou enters the Canton Fair season. This ancient trading city greets the world with a renewed spirit.
The main goal at the time was to earn foreign currency to support national development, and Guangzhou was the perfect place to trade with foreigners and gain foreign exchange. Guangzhou brought its best agricultural goods, handmade items, and basic industrial products to the fair. Top products from across the country came here to be sold.
From low-end manufacturing to advanced smart production. From the 3+1 to independent innovation, and from traditional productivity to new quality productive forces. The Canton Fair faithfully records China's industrial growth. The dawn of modern industrial civilization in China is breaking in the Pearl River Delta. In 2018, CAST released the first batch of the list of Chinese industrial heritage sites. The Ku'er Dock in Huangpu, Guangzhou, ranked first. It was the first modern shipbuilding yard in Guangzhou run by Western capital, and the starting point of China's modern industry. In 1884, based on the Ku'er Dock, the Huangpu shipyard was established, becoming one of the four major shipyards of the late Qing. By the late 19th century, it could already produce warships capable of sailing across the oceans. During the Republic era, Guangzhou's modern mechanized industry began to take shape. However, the Japanese invasion into China interrupted China's industrialization. After the founding of New China, Guangzhou's manufacturing restarted from scratch, developing through its own efforts. In 1954, Guangzhou General Machinery Factory built China's first centrifugal machine. The same year, it also developed Asia's largest sugar production line at the time, ending the era when China could not produce a full set of sugar-making equipment. In 1971, Guangzhou Shipyard completed China's first warship that was fully designed, equipped, and built domestically, the Type 051 destroyer. In 1978, Guangzhou Zinc Plate Factory produced China's first battery zinc plate. By the 1960s and 1970s, Guangzhou had built foundations in shipbuilding, steel, smelting, machinery, chemicals, and light textiles. The 555 battery was one of the earliest exported battery products. Bicycle tire exports led the nation. Pearl River pianos were shipped to Western countries. Before the reform and opening up, most industrial products showcased at the Canton Fair were genuinely made in Guangzhou. Nearby, Foshan was also an important cradle of modern Chinese industry. It gave birth to China's first modern mechanical filature, Jichanglong Silk Mill, and the first match factory, Xiaoming Match Factory, witnessing the rise of China's industry. In the Dongjiang region, the Huiyang Mechanical Sugar Factory, founded in 1933, produced 1,000 tons of sugar per day, a rare achievement for a new-style sugar mill at the time, matching the most advanced sugar industries in the world. Guangzhou became the first city to host a comprehensive trade fair, not only because of its natural access to the sea, but also due to the Pearl River Delta's long history of national industry and the industrial foundation that had begun to take shape after the founding of New China. In 1978, while New York's financial elites rang the Nasdaq bell, workers in villages across the Pearl River Delta were busy at their sewing machines. With the reform and opening up, China's industrial growth accelerated, and the Canton Fair at the time witnessed the birth of a world factory on the banks of the Pearl River. Human Town in Dongguan is where the heroic anti-opium campaign led by Lin Zhishui took place, and it's known to the world. At number 200 Renmin Road stands a special exhibition hall, the Taiping Handbag Factory Exhibition Hall. It showcases an economic model that played a key role in China's industrialization, the 3+1 trading mix.
3 means processing with supplied materials, parts and samples. 1 is compensation trade. This was our main way of working with overseas partners in the early days of reform and opening up. At the time, we lacked capital, equipment, and technology, but we had abundant labor and land resources. So this mix was essentially a way of organizing production that suited China's conditions at the early stage of industrialization. It greatly unlocked productivity.
In this photo are Hong Kong businessman Zhang Simi, his wife, factory director Leo, and an American buyer. Back then, global industries were shifting to lower-cost regions. As operating costs rose in Hong Kong, handbag maker Zhang Simi considered partnering with the mainland. Bold and willing to try, the people of Dongguan seized this opportunity. Using the sample Zhang brought and limited materials, they produced an identical handbag and presented it. The very next day,
they soon signed a cooperation agreement. In July 1978, Taiping Handbag Factory was officially founded. It was the earliest 3+1 enterprise on the Chinese mainland. Its handbags were exported to Southeast Asia, Europe, and the United States. Also in 1978, Hong Kong's Dajin International Trading Company signed the mainland's first 3+1 agreement with the Guangdong branch of the China Textiles Import and Export Corporation, and they built a garment factory named Dajin in Rongqi Town, Shunda. The town provided factory space and workers. The Hong Kong side supplied capital, advanced equipment from overseas, and handled product sales. On Xiaobei Road in Yueshio, Guangzhou, streets near the Guangdong Textiles Mansion were bustling. China's first exported pair of jeans came from here. The style was simple, but the jeans used an innovative washing process that prevented shrinkage. On the very first day of the 1978 Canton Fair, U.S. buyers took notice and immediately placed an order for 10,000 dozen.
This is women's clothing. You see, it's also flowered. Looks very nice.
Li Huifan was an employee of the Guangdong Textiles Import and Export Corporation, and a witness to that chapter of history.
For 10,000 dozen, the price was very good. It was over $60 per dozen, which was excellent by foreign trade standards. It brought in foreign exchange and boosted the company's credibility. Apart from the US, there were many buyers in Europe as well, including Germany, Italy, and France. Orders kept coming in because the price we sold at was high. The processing fees were high too. So at the time, workers' wages rose as well.
A handbag and a pair of jeans sparked the industrial takeoff along both banks of the Pearl River. You supplied equipment and raw materials. We provided factories and labor. This win-win model was quickly replicated. 3+1 enterprises spread rapidly across the Pearl River Delta. Quiet fields and hills gave way to roaring factories. Village leaders who once worked the land became the first investment promoters. Migrant workers flooding into the region became China's first generation of industrial workers. In 1987, a Xinhua news agency report titled Four Guangdong Tigers named Shunda, Nanhai, Dongguan, and Zhongshan as the earliest emerging economic hubs in the Pearl River Delta. The model of using overseas markets and resources became one of the key development paths in China's early reform era. By the late 1980s, Dongguan alone had attracted over 40,000 Hong Kong-funded enterprises. The musical Dongguan East Station follows Wailime as another work depicting the shared growth of migrant workers and the city.
The flood of rural people moving to the cities is the largest population migration in China's history. According to statistics, about 200 million people had come to work in Dongguan.
The huge demand for labor provided jobs for China's rural workforce, whose lives had long been tied to the land. You want to make a fortune? Head to Guangdong. The massive southbound migration left indelible memories for the 60s, 70s, and 80s generations. Their hard work to change their destinies not only supported their own families, but also fueled the rapid growth of China's industrialization.
Back then, I also took a green train like this to Dongguan. In a few days, I might take the same train to return to my hometown, because it's still the most convenient way to get home. Getting on here means going home for the new year. Getting off here means returning to work. Either way, we're going home. For many people, the final stop of their first ever train journey is also the starting point of a new chapter in life.
On this land, brushed by sea winds, thousands of rural workers absorbed the influence of modern civilization and became entrepreneurs of the new era.
This photo was taken when I was 19, while I was still working in a toy factory. It was at a photo studio. I started working at 16 in 1989. I started my own company in 1997, and it's been over 30 years now. I've always been working in Dongguan. In the Pearl River Delta, there's a precious spirit. It's the craftsmanship of doing one thing to the utmost. Dedicated, responsible, careful. Like the Pearl River. It flows on, constant and unwavering.
From a factory worker to the leader of a global industry powerhouse, Wang Xin's journey reflects the upgrading of human capital in the Pearl River Basin. This model is now being replicated along the Yangtze River in vocational education clusters and industry education integration bases of the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle. Through initiatives like the Luban Workshop, it even influences developing countries. The experience of the Pearl River Delta shows that the ultimate resource of industrialization is not machines but workers armed with knowledge. At the turn of the century, China joined the World Trade Organization. With rising global competition and domestic market opening, the 3+1 model was gradually replaced by new economic models.
We could say, the 3+1 brought the first significant profits to the Pearl River Delta, driving the region to leap from early stage to mid-stage industrialization, from the mid-1980s to the mid-1990s. It gave rise to a world-renowned economic miracle, praised by Fei Xiaotong as the Pearl River model.
As industrial products closely tied to people's daily lives, home appliances have always been the stars of the Canton Fair. In recent years, many smart, low-carbon home appliances produced in the Pearl River Delta have attracted many international buyers.
Entering the 21st century, especially in the new era, Made in China has moved towards smart manufacturing. This is a clear leap from creation to exploration to rise to breakthrough. One could say the Canton Fair has reflected the full trajectory of our nation's industrial development.
In the history of China's home appliance industry, Guangdong-made products from the Pearl River Delta have led the way. This region produced China's first electric rice cooker and the first electric fan. These were once a must-have for a quality life and were exported overseas as early as the 1960s and 70s, bringing considerable foreign exchange to the country. When it comes to Guangdong's home appliances, there's a city here that can't be overlooked. It is Shunde, China's home appliance capital. The density of activity here is dizzying. A microwave rolls off the line every 0.02 seconds, and more than 20 high-tech enterprises occupy each square kilometer.
Midea air conditioners. Life can be so much better.
In the 1990s, this well-known slogan captured the hopes of the Chinese as their lives steadily improved. In 1968, He Xiangjian from Shunde led 23 people to raise 5,000 yuan and started the Beijia Plastics Group. In 1980, they started making fans and registered the Midea brand the next year. becoming one of the first township enterprises to grow amid China's reform wave. As early as the 1980s, Midea felt the fierce competition domestically. By seeking support from Hong Kong traders and producing under OEM arrangements, it became one of the earliest private enterprises to venture overseas. Entering the new century, a new generation of appliance companies also started in Shunda, quickly capturing the smart appliance market. Data shows that Shunda-made products like rice cookers and microwaves now hold the largest global market share. By international standards, Industry 1.0 is the steam engine era. Industry 2.0 the electrification era. Industry 3.0 the information era. And Industry 4.0 is the smart era, using information technology to transform industries. From Industry 2.0 to 4.0, Shunda's appliance industry went through market and tech stagnation, and finally found a new path in smart innovation. Manufacturing shifted to smart production, speed to quality, and products to brands. Independent innovation became the key for TCL, a top global TV maker, to enter the high-end international market. Amid the rise of Chinese manufacturing, TCL's breakthroughs changed people's lives and put Chinese companies at the forefront of global display technology for the first time. In the field of new energy, they've greatly improved solar power efficiency and reduced generation costs, helping push the global transition to clean energy.
New technologies allow us to effectively manage people, equipment, processes, workflows, as well as storage and logistics. So not only are we using all these digital systems, but we also provide these platforms to over 30,000 enterprises across the country.
Guangdong Goods Go Global. Guangdong distributes the world's goods. Pearl River Delta Enterprises enter high-end international markets with the help of independent innovation. Amid the rise of Chinese manufacturing, each technological breakthrough has transformed people's lives and strengthened Chinese companies' position in the fierce global competition. The 3+1 model brought the Pearl River Delta its initial asset accumulation. However, as global industrial chains were reshaped, the model that relies on external raw materials and markets no longer suits China. That forced the Pearl River Delta to transform into an innovation-driven Bay Area, gaining greater control over industrial and economic development. A brand is an industrial product made distinct through culture, technology, and quality. The Canton Fair is a major stage for Chinese brands to go global, and a powerful driver for raising the value of Chinese products. In April 2004, the 95th Canton Fair set up a brand exhibition area. By April 2007, the 101st Canton Fair added an international pavilion, and the event was thereafter renamed the China Import and Export Fair. The Canton Fair's mission shifted from helping domestic enterprises go global to promoting the integration of China's industrial chain into the global economy. In April 2011, the 109th Canton Fair launched the Product Design and Trade Promotion Center. Top international design experts were invited to talk with Chinese enterprises, which linked global design resources with China's foreign trade companies. facing global market changes and challenges such as rising domestic land and labor costs. Enterprises in the Pearl River Delta have focused on innovation, joined global supply chains, pursued smart manufacturing, improved quality, and built their own brands.
We now own over 46 internationally leading technologies and export our products to more than 190 countries and regions. Our exports are mainly under our own brands, no longer relying on traditional OEM production or labeling.
In this intelligent automotive factory in Panyu, Guangzhou, assembly lines run at high speed, robots swing their arms, and AGVs shuttle back and forth. Every 53 seconds, a new energy vehicle rolls off the line. Here, the stars of the production line are no longer the workers, but the automated equipment. From grabbing tires, to handling bolts, and checking quality, every step is performed by robots. With smarter production lines, customers can choose different models, colors, and configurations. And the same line can produce up to 100,000 configuration combinations. Lighthouse Factory, hailed as the world's most advanced factory, represents the pinnacle of smart manufacturing in the industrial sector. Through innovative, intelligent, and digital production methods, this company has become the world's only lighthouse factory for new energy vehicles.
A lighthouse factory essentially transforms a traditional mechanical assembly industry into smart manufacturing. With these production lines and equipment, we've achieved fully customized production. Each vehicle can be different. At our fastest, we produce a car every 53 seconds, which means over 1,000 vehicles per day.
The smart manufacturing experience of lighthouse factories spread across the whole Greater Bay Area, accelerating a leap in productivity driven by technological innovation.
In just a few decades, the Pearl River Delta has become the world's manufacturing center. China's emerged as a world-class manufacturing base.
The industrialization of the Pearl River Delta is the concentration of China's modernization. When the first handbags from the Taiping handbag factory reached the world through the Canton Fair, no one could have imagined this southern river would become a force reshaping the global industrial map. From 3+1 processing to leading the West with quantum dot displays. From waves of migrant workers at Dongguan East Station to robot-run lighthouse factories. In 40 years, the Pearl River Basin completed what took the West 3 centuries. Such an industrial miracle is also happening along the Yangtze River Economic Belt, the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei urban agglomeration and other major economic regions, together composing a grand symphony of the Chinese path to modernization.
Welcome everyone to Baijiahao Live. For those just joining, please wait a moment.
Right.
We've just started broadcasting, right?
Yeah.
You can click on the shopping cart below to browse.
Have you followed us?
Yeah.
Collected the coupons?
E-commerce is a new business model that emerged with the development of the internet and mobile communications. It allows people to shop without leaving home, greatly changing lifestyles. In Guangzhou, e-commerce is no longer just online sales. It deeply integrates with real-world industries. Behind the live stream host are not fancy backdrops, but actual production lines. This factory-to-live stream model enhances both the consumer shopping experience and Guangzhou's e-commerce industry. In recent years, with the rapid growth of e-commerce, cross-border online sales have emerged as a major trend in business. In April 2024, the 135th Canton Fair added a cross-border e-commerce exhibition area. 158 cross-border e-commerce companies found their own space here. Speaking of cross-border e-commerce, we have to look at Shine, a company that's focused on apparel sales. They created a completely new retail model: small batch, fast response, and flexible supply chains. The key feature of this model is to start with a small initial order, 100 to 200 pieces, to suppliers. They then adjust follow-up orders based on market and consumer feedback. If sales underperform, production stops. This on-demand production model greatly reduces inventory risk and costs, while boosting price competitiveness. Behind this seemingly simple production sales model is a strong chain of technological innovation.
From development to printing, cutting, and delivery to customers, we can complete over 90% of distribution within just 16 hours. This machine has 24 cameras. It can detect defective items and take photos of them. You can check where the flaws are based on the photos. Previously, our daily production was just 10,000 meters. Now it reaches nearly 300,000 meters a day.
This new model captures consumer demand quickly and helps traditional apparel companies to transform into digital factories. Shine links design, factories, warehousing, and logistics through the internet, achieving scientific integration and efficient flow of production factors. A new product can go from design to production in just 7 to 15 days. This speed leaves even international fashion brands behind. The rise of cross-border e-commerce has opened new paths for the Pearl River Delta's apparel industry and shown how China's powerful industrial chain can be turned into a global advantage, and how China finds its rightful place in the changing world trade system.
Behind me is China's largest and most impressive air show.
We're now at the air show in Zhuhai.
Seeing China's major national equipment, you can't help but be inspired.
Just now, a plane ascended into the clouds. You can hear its roar, but its form is invisible.
Inspired by the Canton Fair, trade and exhibition activities have spread from the Pearl River's source to its mouth. Zhuhai hosts the International Aviation and Aerospace Expo. Kunming hosts the South Asia Expo. Nanning hosts the China ASEAN Expo. Shenzhen hosts the China High-Tech Fair, and more. Each event attracts global visitors and promotes the development of various industries. When ASML engineers shook hands with Chinese lithography teams at the Canton Fair, or when German Industry 4.0 standards aligned with Guangzhou's manufacturing upgrading, the Pearl River is no longer just a geographic location, but more of a new pivot of industrial civilization. Across the Pearl River Delta and all of China, Made in China is transforming rapidly into created in China and intelligently made in China. Countless extraordinary new products are about to appear at the next Canton Fair. The rising tide of the Pearl River stirs the spirit of reform and opening up, the greatest awakening in Chinese history. The Canton Fair has opened a window, showing the world China's vision and openness. It has created a stage where Chinese manufacturing displays the wisdom and vitality of Eastern civilization. It has activated a force driving China's industrialization forward, riding the waves of the global industrial revolution. 5,000 years of history show us that the greatest ideas have depth and the power to resonate across time and space. The Chinese nation has always believed in a shared future for humanity.